Now, speaking of politics, a statement issued by the Sierra Leone President's office says the President, Ernest Bai Koroma, has sacked his Vice President, Samuel Sam Sumana, for seeking asylum in a foreign embassy. In the statement, President Koroma said Sam Sumana had abandoned his duties and office as Vice President by seeking refuge in a foreign embassy, adding that he would appoint a new deputy shortly. The Vice President's lawyer, Bryden Jenkins Johnson, did say that they were meeting today to decide on challenging the action of sacking the Vice President. Sam Sumana had requested asylum at the United States Embassy in Freetown after soldiers surrounded his residence on Saturday following his expulsion from the ruling party this month. His sacking could stoke political tensions in one of the three West African countries which are hardest hit by the scuffle that's been going on for power. Now, on tomorrow on the program on Network Africa, we'll be looking more into this and speaking to experts about the laws of Sierra Leone to know if it's actually legal for a president to take such actions against his vice. We'll have that special for you tomorrow on Network Africa. Now, here's something you don't see every day. Senegal's President Macky Sall has confirmed that he would hold a referendum next year to reduce the presidential term to 5 years from 7, seeking to set an example at a time when some African leaders want to lift their term limit. President Sall declined to say whether he would seek a second term in his West African country, regarded as a citadel of democracy in a turbulent region, though he's widely expected to do so. President Sall also pledged during his campaign in 2012 that he would cut the presidential term in Senegal to bring it into line with regional norms after his predecessor increased it from 5 to 7 years. President Sall, who is a former prime minister during Wade's term as president, said the referendum would probably take place in May 2016. And if the outcome is positive, the next presidential election will take place in February 2017. Now, there's a new development in Egypt. The country is tightening rules for visas by requiring individual visitors to obtain them at embassies instead of on arrival at Egyptian airports. Now, that's a move that could make it harder to revive the tourism industry. Security sources say the decision arose from a need to give intelligence services more time to assess individuals who want to visit Egypt, where security has suffered from an Islamist insurgency centered in the Sinai region. According to the tourism minister's media advisor, the changes will take effect on May the 15th, and she believes the decision will have a very small effect as the industry depends on large groups brought in by tour operators. Reviving the tourist sector is central to efforts to shore up state coffers in the country, which once attracted huge numbers of visitors to its ancient sites like pyramids, Luxor and Aswan along the Nile and Red Sea resorts. Now, unfortunately, at least 7 foreign tourists and a Tunisian have lost their lives after gunmen targeted a museum in the Tunisian capital. British, Italian, French and Spanish nationals were among those taken hostage, and the shooting happened at the Bardo Museum, which is next to the Parliament building in central Tunis. At the time of the attack, deputies were discussing anti-terrorism legislation, and Parliament has now been evacuated. Most tourists were evacuated, but some were still believed to be inside, adding that security forces had entered the museum. That was disclosed by the security operative there. The museum, renowned for its collection of antiques, is a major attraction in Tunis. It's imperative to note that tourism is a key sector of Tunisia's economy, with large numbers of Europeans visiting the country's resorts. Now, it's another day and another battle with terrorism in the likes of Somalia, where Islamist militants killed at least 4 people during a raid on a Kenyan town border with Somalia. Hooded gunmen attacked a shop in the northeastern town of Wajir, about 100 kilometers from the Somali border, firing guns and setting off explosions. The Islamist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the raid. And the militants last week also killed several people when they attacked a convoy carrying a regional Kenyan governor, Ali Roba, near the Mandera area bordering Somalia. The northeastern region stretching from Wajir to the border town of Mandera has often been targeted by Al-Shabaab, which has vowed to punish Kenya for sending troops into Somalia, where they are fighting alongside other African peacekeepers. Many residents and regional politicians have vented frustration with the government for failing to improve security in a crime-ridden region awash with bandits and gunmen. Now, that's where we come to the end of this episode of Network Africa. It's been a pleasure having you join us. As always, we'd like to hear from you, and you can feel free to reach out to us either via email or Twitter. The address and handle you're about to see on your screen in just a moment. There it is. That's our email and that's our Twitter handle. You can also check our Twitter handle for the app, which helps in magnifying the large print, which Jacob Pella, the CEO of the Albino Foundation, discussed with us earlier on during the program. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's been a pleasure. I'm Cynthia Are.